How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. Saki Fuwa has just been announced and we have a lot of goodies. In this video, I am going to give you some information that will help you determine whether to summon for Saki or go ahead and take a pass on it. So the breakdown is going to be as follows. First, we're going to talk about the release date, then the current ice compositions that are used in the game meta right now. Then we're going to talk about Saki's star levels, Saki's skills as a character. I'm not going to read them all to you, I'm just going to introduction it. And then the matrix, followed by how she will shift the meta, and finally the verdict, whether you should summon or not. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. First off is the release date. Saki Fuwa is coming on November 10th. This is going to be pretty interesting because in-game, Ruby's banner is actually ending a lot sooner than that. So I'm kind of curious what's going to happen. As you can see here on the screen, we have 7 days left on the banner, but we are quite a bit of ways away from the 10th. So I wonder if they loop up a rerun, maybe just total speculation, or something happens, or else we're just going to have, for the first time, no banner present, and that would be a little weird, so we'll have to see how that goes. But anyways, November 10th is the update for Saki Fuwa. She will be coming into the game. So first, let's talk about the current ice compositions. So right now in the game currently, the ice compositions that are run is going to be Frigg, Tsubasa, and Nemesis, with the variant taking out Tsubasa for Meryl for the Bygone Phantasm. This is the current ice composition's best lineup because it just offers the most damage over time. So the way it plays currently is very simple. You simply just, summon your elemental totems with Nemesis to start and just dish out the damage as long as you have your Frost Domain up with Frigg, and you utilize a lot of dodge attack and Tsubasa's arrow rain at A5. Now this can be a lot of DPS, especially in the long term, but the comp fundamentally lacks the unity of having a solid ice foundation. Yes, you can use Meryl instead of Nemesis, but I don't think it has quite that same effect, and it lacks some utility in terms of the long-term sorts for it. But the ice comp is going to be pretty much this variant for quite some time. The thing that is coming up next, which is going to be Saki, will heavily change this, and it will change this by a lot of different ways because it's going to add a lot of unique utility and kit to the ice comp that it lacks right now currently. So let's talk about Saki's star levels. So in my opinion, Saki is very, very good at the first star level. The first star level activates her kit, which allows you to gain a reset on all skills when you continually use skills. I think it's up to 5 times, so you're going to get a reset across the board. So that's going to include Frigg's 1 skill, which is very powerful, and anything else you have. Saki's skill is also very strong as well, so it's nice to get those constant resets going. And with that in mind, it's going to be valuable to increase Saki past 1 star. Everything past that is just going to be bonus damage for the most part. There's some special effects with Phantasm, but the TLDR is more Saki stars, the more damage, but have at least 1 star to make it playable. Next, let's jump into the character itself. Why is Saki so good? What makes her unique? So the first thing is going to be that first star ability, the ability to reset all skills, not just Saki's skill specifically, but all skills on your roster lineup. This is very powerful, especially when paired with high cooldown skills like Frigg, or maybe even Meryl, and Tsubasa can definitely be nice because it can trigger you towards that reset constantly. So it works well with high cooldown and low cooldown skills. It will get a little bit more value with low cooldown skills because you'll be able to spam more and get more resets. So just keep that in mind. The next thing she brings to the table is going to be Lifesteal. She has some abilities that will trigger a percentage-based healing on you and shields as well in the form of counters. So she's going to bring a lot of survivability and durability to your lineup, which is definitely really nice because currently in this game, there's very few limited healer options and not a lot of ways to generate HP and keep your HP high. Usually it's like dodge or you're donezo, right? So this is going to be very important, and in addition to that, she's going to bring frost damage buffs just flat across the board, which is going to be fantastic. Now, we can't talk about Saki without talking about her Matrix, because her Matrix are very, very strong, even towards the late game. Looking down the line, when we get some of the other ice character like Alyss, you will still use Saki's Matrix. So these are very strong. The first part is going to activate a sort of damage aura that pulses around you. So this is a very, very strong ability to have on because it's going to allow you to add extra DPS that works in the background. So this doesn't have to be on your main character. It's just going to work passively in the background. So if you throw it on your Tsubasa or something, or whoever's not having the most field time, it's still going to buff the entire lineup of all your Frost characters, which is going to be very strong. And the 4-piece, once again, just increases more Frost damage. So they're going to be taking more Frost damage, you're going to be dealing more Frost damage, and it's just going to add up these bonuses passively in the back, which is going to increase your team's overall DPS. So Saki's Matrix are very, very useful. How does Saki change the current meta? Let's talk about that. Saki will most likely be used in unison with Tsubasa and Frigg at the start. So you're going to have Saki, Tsubasa, Frigg. She will replace Nemesis, and I think it will take the place of Meryl as well. Meryl is pretty strong on the current version of the game, but keep in mind a lot of her damage is deceptive because it comes from her 5-star ability with Meryl, the shield, which has a limited time duration. It can also get broken. There's a few things that can go wrong. So Saki increasing damage passively in the background overall is going to make your comp do a lot more DPS. So this is going to be a shift in the meta, and since this will be Ice's second limited character, it is likely to be very strong. We saw Ruby shoot up when she came out because she had Cobalt in addition to Ruby, so that was 2 limited characters. So Saki being here, whatever state that she comes out in, she's going to be a strong Ice character that will buff damage passively in the background for all of your Ice characters. Will she do more damage than Frigg with the Huma Matrix? I'm not really sure. We'll have to see depending on how badly they, optimize or adjust her for global. But either way, she's going to increase the damage of your main Ice carry, so it's going to be very strong going into the future. And now let's jump into the final verdict. Should you summon for Saki? The short-term answer is yes. Most likely, Saki will be one of the best Ice characters, and if you're planning to build an Ice composition, I would summon for her. In addition to that, if you are a tank in any way, shape, or form, she's one of the very few, especially with Mark being just out of the picture, very few tank characters in the game, so you will need Saki in order to perform your tank role within expectation, so make sure that you go ahead and pull for her. Then, in addition to that, let's talk about the Matrix. Is that a summon or a pass? That is a 100% summon if you are an Ice comp user. If you want to use an Ice comp in the future, you need Saki Fuwa's Matrix because you're going to put them on some character. Doesn't matter who, one of the characters on your lineup should just boost up your DPS by a lot. And these are going to be very important things to have. Alright, that's going to be it for this one. I hope this video helped you make a better decision on whether or not you wanted to summon for Saki Fuwa. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate that. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if it helped you in any way, shape, or form, and we will see you in the next video.